Hey, this is Charles Calhoun, aka the ShadeTree Pro, and I'm here to discuss a little bit about the golf swing for you today. Of course, everyone knows the biggest discussion in the game of golf today is Tiger Woods and his golf swing. Well, I was paying attention on YouTube to a discussion talking about the golf swing between Chris Como and Dr. McKenzie. Well, in that discussion, the Dr. McKenzie was making an observation about the golf swing that I find to be absolutely incorrect. And I'll say that again, I find to be absolutely incorrect. And if Tiger is using this method, then it's understandable why he's having the problem with his driver and his ability to play golf, even at a pretty decent level, in a sense. Now, when I demonstrate what the action that I saw, when I demonstrate it, you're going to get a clear understanding of how the arms and hands work to come down into impact. It's pretty simple, and I'm going to use simple things to give you an explanation why. First and foremost, you know Tiger's hitting blocks, hooks, pulls, all that stuff, you know, which the everyday golfer, we're used to it. We do that all the time. But I'm going to use some examples of something. One of the things that Dr. McKenzie and Chris Como discussed in the golf swing, they were saying that at the top of the golf swing, when you're starting the golf swing down, that the hands have to drop, or the club in itself has to drop down back behind the hands. And this right here is the kiss of death. And if you notice, and I'm telling you right now, this is the kiss of death. Now, a lot of people has picked this up because in Hogan's golf swing, Hogan talked about lowering the club. Well, the thing that they're not paying attention to is this, is that when Hogan was at the top of his golf swing, his hand was cupped. So when he dropped that club down, then all he did was unleash the cup. But the club in itself did not drop back behind the hands as being described by Dr. McKenzie. Now, I'm going to show you something here that's unique, and it's simple. And watch this. I'm going to use 2 cups of water that I have here. Now, if we're using energy in itself, and let's say for an example, let me set this one down. Let's say for an example, if I want to bring the energy, I'm swinging a golf club, grab my golf club here. If I'm swinging a golf club and I want to bring the energy down to the ball, then why am I going to go all the way back here and then try to rotate it back here to get it to the ball when the body in itself is constantly rotating and it's going to bring the club to the ball? Now, my example is this. If I set up here with this cup, as described by Dr. McKenzie and Chris Como, is that if I take this hand here and I get ready and I take this like I've just got a cup of water, and if I take this cup of water and I turn in essence like they talked about, then that cup of water is going to spill water that way. And that's completely wrong, because I don't want my energy here. I want my energy on the ball. Using another cup, now if I was to do this properly and I bring my hands down the proper way, then I should be able to spill energy and water, excuse me, to create the energy towards the ball there, which I just described there. So in essence, and to make it very simple, for Tiger just to correct his golf swing, let me wipe my club off for spilling this water in here. This is all Tiger Woods would have to do. Forget about that stuff, because that just doesn't work. That's just too much, and it causes too much confusion. And I was reading some of the comments, and I can't believe some people, some instructors that I had a lot of respect for, you know, because I read a lot of their stuff on the YouTube that agrees with this. It's unbelievable. But if I took this cup, and this came to me by an accident trying to catch a cup that was falling off of my table. If I get to the top of my swing, and let's just say I'm right here, and you know, my swing may be a little longer, but let's just say when I get to the top of my swing, if I get ready to swing down, and it's the turning of the body, it's going to make the club come down. It's not, you don't have to drop your arms. If you turn the body, the club's going to come down. If I allow my arms to drop as they describe, you can see right here that that cup, the energy oil, if there was water in this cup, it would spill right on top of me. And then I got to stand up and do everything to try to get to the ball. I'm going to hit blocks, hooks, fade, and it's going to be incredible timing for this to happen. Why not make it simple? When you get to the top of the golf swing and you start your downswing because of the rotation of the body, how about this? How about just spill the cup right down towards the ball? See how the cup's turning? And if I just took it, turned it right here, and lined it perfectly with my hand, all I'm doing is just spilling the cup. It's not over the top. Even Tom Watson said, when he first learned how to properly swing the golf club, he said he felt like he was coming way over the top of the golf swing, but yet in a sense, all he was doing was bringing it right down. Now, when I do this, instead of this, when I do this, that brings the club directly to the ball because of the rotation of my body. If I do this, like Chris Como and Dr. McKenzie was discussing, if I do this, now I have to compensate because I have to come up somehow, some way, or whatever to get to the ball. And as I said, it requires too much time. It requires too much manipulation of the golf club. There is not one good golfer that absolutely took the club up here and dropped the club back down this way as described, even here with one hand, that dropped the club back here, back behind the hands. It may seem that way, but in essence, in the sense of whatever, as the body is rotating around, the arm's automatically going to drop down. And then all of a sudden you can't do nothing but come straight into the ball. So sometimes when you're trying to learn something, you have to go out and execute it. You have to put it to work. And some things often can be very, very simple if you just took your time to understand what is really being said. As I said, take this. All I did was took a piece of Velcro in my glove, put it there, stuck it on this cup, and all I did was pretend it as if I was dumping water onto the ball. And that's it. And that's the rotation of your hands. I don't care if you're short here, that's the rotation of your hands. And that's how the hand, forearms and hands rotate down to the club. They do not rotate from under here because you're dead if you do. Hey, this is Charles Calhoun, aka the ShadeTree Pro, and always good golfing.